Hey, what's up, Salvation? How you doing? Hey, Grizz. What's going on? I got ready. An hour before stream, I sat down. What's up? An hour before stream, I sit down. YouTube changes their entire shit. YouTube's entire stream setup is completely different. So I have to go and like recreate the title, the thumbnail setup. Used to be that like I would do a stream and it would just start the next one for next week because it knows when you're doing live streams, it kind of keeps that there. So you just import the previous stuff and update it. That's gone. This is now like, hey, create a brand new thing. Wonder why the alert came up but no video posted? Yeah. So YouTube did this absolute nightmare of a thing that changed everything. I'm not saying it doesn't look better. I just... You know, I thought an hour ahead of time would be enough time for me to, like, get into the mental state I need to talk about the things I want to talk about on the stream. Nope. It was 60 minutes of me figuring out why YouTube changed their setup. Are we still on for PC stream? Yes. We will be doing PC stream on, what's it called after? Oh, thank you, man. On Twitch after. This is just kind of like housekeeping. I want to show a couple of things. For example, hey Signer, good to see you. Here. I want to show you something when it comes to Alliance War. And like what I do to place defenses now. Missing 80 shards of Loki, Hella Sif. Well, you have like 6 months before, not 6 months, probably somewhere between 2 and 3 months before you have to care about it again, you know? Like, alright. Juicy NDA email? I believe that, but Wolverthor's in the, what's it called? Wolverthor is in the Envoy program, so like he has a whole bunch of stuff on NDA. Thoughts on Swarm? No thoughts. None. The only thought I have on Swarm is that if you read his kit that they've talked about, we know either Electro or Doc Ock, probably Electro, will be more likely to have a disrupt kit. So I'd assume Electro's, you know, ability would start disrupting, which will make Swarm better. So it seems to me the way it's going to be, and this is just kind of par for the course, is that Electro and Swarm are going to be the most important members of the Sinister Six going forward. If I had to guess what the Sinister Six team would look like, it would be Doc Ock, Electro, Swarm, and then, depending on the situation, the other 2 slots are either Mysterio, Shocker, or Rhino. You know, depending on if you need the focus, because all these things require focus, and Mysterio gives the team a ton of focus. Notice that the chat is not appearing for some reason on there, so that's great. Wish it was, but it's not. Any possibility of Sin 6 reworks? It's unlikely that they'll do major reworks. They might do a little tweaks here and there, but they're more likely going to tell you that you need the newest ones. Pretty much ready for all legendaries except Maw and Phoenix. That's fair. I started farming Mordo in Arena. I'm still farming Rock and Ronin. That's fair. What's up, Gunther? How you doing? So anyway, I wanted to show like my early stage of war. So I put one actual war defense team in it. It's not really a defense team, right? But one full team just to kind of hold my room out. And then everything else, I put like one character whose power is greater than the average shield minion. So like Juggernaut is here now. Scientist Supreme, does she actually matter? No, she doesn't. But you can't just bring in, you can't be cocky when you see a real character. And then this one I put in 2 mediocre characters. Actually, let me move it back a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. Sure. What's up, Chase? When's Star Wars coming back? Because I'm missing some shards. Well, we have to see Shuri and Maw and Doc Ock. So there's 3 legendary passes. If the blog went live just now, it probably confirmed Shuri. I don't know, but if the blogs usually go live around 8 p.m., that blog probably said Shuri is the next event. So Shuri's coming up next. Then it did. It confirm, and it confirmed Shuri. Yeah, Shuri's next. Yeah. So like Shuri was definitely going to be next, and then we have Maw/Doc Ock in an order that like we don't actually know because they're injecting Doc Ock into the cycle. Strike Time? No one watches Strike Time. No one watches Strike Time. Watch the people, like the content creators will watch Strike Time and then make better videos out of their content. I surpassed everyone in my lines because they built their roster tall instead of wide. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And again, keep in mind, wide doesn't mean you bring up a whole bunch of teams to the equal power. It just means you go wide enough that when you do want to work on a specific character, you can do whatever you want. You think Phoenix before Star Wars again? Maybe. Maybe. Probably. You know, like, you can't really know. Did you hop on the beta of Marvel Avengers? No interest in the beta. No. I'm still not sure if I'm buying it on PC or PS4 yet. It's not going to affect my streaming, so it is what it is. But yeah, you have time for Star Wars. You have at least 6 weeks minimum before Star Wars. And realistically, it's way more than that. It's probably about 2 months, but 6 weeks is good enough. And then again, you could have Phoenix before him, and that adds another 2 weeks to the cycle. Wait, Doc Ock is bio? Mind-blowing, right? The guy who has absolutely no possible bio. None of him. His powers are tech completely. Mind-blowing, right? Don't know where that came from either. The only reason I can imagine they put... Like, there's no storyline reason why Doc would be bio. So it has to be that they just realize they want more bio... They want people to spend bio gear more often. Both look good? Yeah, I just don't know which... Like, it depends on whatever people are doing. So yeah, as far as early defenses are concerned, if your alliance is forcing you to put good teams on defense at the cost, like, tell them no. Like, just say, no, I need to win war attacks, not defensive victories. If defensive victories gave you war credits, that's fine. But in the early stages of war, before you have a wide out roster, like the widest possible roster you can have for war, because that's how you succeed in war, is wide roster. Before you do that, you have to make sure that you have enough teams that you can get in 3 or 4, 5 or 6 attacks in, because that's the primary amount of resources you're going to get. Dope, Jimmy Leo. That's awesome. You're a little bit ahead of me, too. Star Wars, IWSSM, Hela, and Minerva. Yeah, team's amazing, right? But it's not like the best team you could use. It's just like, you're getting these characters. It makes your job of Dark Dimension 2 easy with those characters, and you don't really have to worry about other stuff. Like, well, if I have Black Bolt and Yo-Yo, well, most people won't, you know? So what would you do there? Or if you have all 3 symbiotes, Black Bolt and Yo-Yo, yeah, you'll probably be able to giggle your way through it, even without the healing for them. So it's kind of a 6-of-1. One of the things that's so good is now that everyone got a free Minerva, and by everybody I mean everyone who started within the last month and a half got a free Minerva, you don't really have to worry about stuff like whether I get them. They're describing Swarm. Blog is confusing. Oh, yeah, okay. Swarm. So, yeah, like everything I saw about Doc Ock was tech when I saw it. That's why I was like, Swarm bio? I mean, Doc Ock bio? That's gotta be a weird thing. But Swarm is clearly bio. He's a bunch of bees. Is it okay to use Star Tech on Week 4 credits? If everything's maxed out, you can. I wouldn't, like, go nuts. I would exclusively use them to buy an Elite 4 orb after you've, like, when you're 2,000 or less away. I wouldn't, like, I wouldn't buy them on cooldown. Just in case they add another feature that you can buy with those War Store credits, or if, like, ISO 8 upgrades cost them, or you could buy ISO 8s with them. You know, like, they added a way to spend war credits for people who are max cap, but if you're not max cap, I wouldn't touch it. When we run Dark Dimension, you're free to play? Well, we got like a month or two. It's gonna take... I'm almost 69. Doc Ock. No, supposedly... What's up, Cookies? Cookies, did you get back to me? I didn't notice. And also Malta. But, Agent, is it gonna be? No idea. No idea. Had no idea there was another agent coming. Sub W. Doc Ock is not bio. Swarm is bio. Okay, we'll talk. I haven't checked all day. I haven't been on Twitch all day. I've been finishing up 2 videos that... I was gonna put 1 video up today, and then I'm like, I'm streaming. So, like, no. I'm not gonna have people like, don't watch my stream, watch this video instead. I'd rather just have it come out either after the stream or tomorrow, like, afternoon. Let's do a Blitz. I actually do have more Blitz teams now. I just don't care. Just planning on starting early tech farm for Doc Ock. Yeah, if you're gonna get Doc Ock, right? PMG this morning? Okay, cool. Boop, boop. Same kind of thing goes with blitzing. You really, when you go tall roster, you only have like 1, maybe 2 teams that can win in the highest stages of blitz, but you can't get there. So you aren't getting as high up as you can. Me, I can at least get to tier 7, tier 8 moderately easily. But then again, this is a crystal blitz, so I'm not looking to get much out of it. We're still in the stage where, like, my roster doesn't... I don't have enough characters or enough investment. So that's why the topic of this is going to be resources and time. It's the 2 things that spending money in this game get you, and it's the 2 things that being free to play won't. You don't just get a thing. You don't just buy Emma Frost. You know, when her offer was up, you weren't buying a character for $50. You were buying a character plus the amount of time and resources you would have to spend to unlock that character. Now, conservatively, to get 100 Emma shards, assuming her event starts on the 19th, I believe, after the patch goes up, because the 19th is patch day, to my knowledge. But assuming Emma Frost goes live on the 19th, you're still not getting her on the first day. It's going to take you probably about 7 days before you start seeing a meaningful amount, and you're not getting that many credits. Say the event is 4 weeks, you know, 30 days. How many days is going to take you? 20? 20 days to unlock her? So from her release to the day that you would unlock her, that $50 represents all the gold, all of the resources, everything it would have taken to get her to that point. So it's like maybe about a month plus of time and everything else. How good is Guardians in Dark Dimension 1? Good enough. Good enough to win. I mean, there's no one... The best team for Dark Dimension 1, bar none, 0 chance, is Fury Shield. The reason I can tell you that is I had a 6-star Fury Shield and I did Dark Dimension 1 in 2 days. Like, that's the best team. Nothing. And now, obviously, when you move forward into not teams, but 5 characters you could put together... Like, you want to use, like, Black Bolt, plus Thanos, plus Minerva, plus, you know, like, you just want to power through the game as fast as possible with high-power, high-impact characters. But then again, a lot of that is because you had to, you know, like, when I did Dark Dimension 1, back in my day, we couldn't be higher than, like, level 70. Like, we could be level, like, 70-ish. To get into Dark Dimension 1. But most people were level, like, 65... Which characters were level 65 to 70 anyway. Thoughts on Doom Campaign? What possible thoughts could I have? On it exists. That's pretty much it. But, so, like, what Dark Dimension 1 was 1,000 times harder because we didn't have the depth of roster we have now. We didn't have red stars when it first came out. Or we just had red stars by the time Dark Dimension 2 was relevant. But Dark Dimension 1, everybody who completed it quickly used Fury Shield. They were just the most efficient team to use at the time. And they had the most sustain because you were punching up all the time. Now, it doesn't really matter. Waiting on tech here for Minerva 13. My last tune, Dark Dimension 2, is okay to focus on aim villains for camp. Of course it is. I'm gonna work on aim characters soon. Like, by work on, I mean put gear into, not farm them. Like, but I have all the aim characters, except Graviton. I don't have Graviton yet. So, like, and I got them completely by playing the game and not really doing anything. What are your thoughts on the superior unique offer? Which one? The one that's right now that's like 19 uniques of a type for $24.99? I don't like that one. If you're talking about the hidden ones that show up if you go looking for them, those I think are fine if you're close. About a month ago, I asked if 140k Guardians. You said 190. You were right. Yeah, 140k Guardians probably wouldn't be able to, just because Mantis and Drax won't tank a lot. And you actually, because Dark Dimension isn't a raid node, because it's a super raid node, you have to rely heavily on your sustain. So your Groot and your Mantis actually need to do a lot of work. Mantis needs to be healing reliably. Drax, when he's tanking, he's about to take not 5 characters, not 6 characters, but up to 8 or 9 characters of damage before he gets a turn. So he has to be able to tank that out. And you have to be able to throw heals onto him to keep him up and active. Groot will put Death Proof occasionally to keep things alive, but you are leaning into Rocket Ult to do the most damage all the time. And that's why for Dark Dimension 1, that team does need to be a little bit higher. That said, you don't like, if they're at that level, you know, you're talking about the difference between, you know, one-shotting nodes and like two-shotting nodes. And it really doesn't make too much of a difference in Dark Dimension 1 if you're one-shotting or two-shotting. Isn't the vent only doing 2x catalysts? I haven't checked. About a month ago, yeah, what's up? How you feeling about Swarm? No opinion. Is a new character, no intention of buying. Is a campaign character. You know, like, here's the things we know, right? Electro, Swarm, and Zemo are not going to be used to unlock anybody. So we know that this wave of 3 characters is the wave of 3 characters that are present. Like, there's no situation where they're going to be like, no, Swarm and Electro are necessary, but like so-and-so isn't. Zemo has an off chance, right? There's like a small chance. I don't know of anything about Zemo. What's up, Astel? Good to see you, man. How you been? Hi, Spam Risk. We know that Electro and what's his name? Swarm have no business in unlocking. Like, they're part of the Sinister Six. The best they can already be is used to unlock a character that currently you can use current characters to unlock, so, you know, whatever. Now we have to ask the question of what they do for the team. Now, FoxNext is in the habit of making newer characters on teams more important than older ones. For example, if you used to use, like, Mordo, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, that team sucks on ice. Those 3 characters are terrible. But, like, add Ghost Rider and Elsa, and now you have a full team. Cool. It's kind of hard to imagine a situation where we don't see what the new kits of those characters do. Now we have Disrupt, right? We know one of them has to disrupt. I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's Electro, and then we know Swarm feeds off of Disrupt, and we know Doc Ock does a whole bunch of crazy ass shit. What's going on, Thomas? I missed the question somebody asked. So Swarm and Electro will probably be part of the new Sinister Six team, whatever that is. But like the new hotness, you know how like sometimes like Mercs, right? You don't use Taskmaster and the Merc minions, you use Taskmaster plus like Bullseye or Korath and Killmonger and something like that. Doc Ock gives charge somehow, which is fine. Like, we understand how they're going to work with their team in the same way that Magneto works with his team, but you don't need Magneto on his team. They're not going to make a legendary that is exclusive to the team. Magneto is a great character, but he's not, you don't need to use him on that. You can use him in Arena just as a character. You can use him in raids, in certain aspects of raids where you need Brotherhood characters. But you can use him as a raid character. Some people have come out with like raid teams using Magneto because a lot of people have him. I don't like them, but they're options. Most legendary characters have splash value outside of team they're supposed to be on. Black Bolt is actually better outside of the Inhumans team than in the Inhumans team. So... Doc Ock is a checklist. Yeah, that was what I was speculating on yesterday, was that the only thing they can do, aside from making it random, is be like, well, if these two characters are present, Doc Ock summons this character, you know? Was waiting for a game update. What I missed? Nothing. But yeah, resources. That's it. When you spend money on a game, you're only buying the time it takes to get whatever the thing is. And that money you spend not only saves you the time, it saves you whatever the resources you were going to spend to get them. So when people ask me all the time, do I think $50 for Emma was reasonable? I would have to pause for a second and say, is $50 worth about a month of time to get a character, plus the thousands of gold and the energy? Well, the energy you're going to spend anyway, so it's the gold. The millions of gold you'd have to spend just to get it every day. Scream supposedly is huge. Toxin is somebody I've been talking about for a long time. And that's it. That's like... Every dollar you spend in this game, first of all, it's gone forever. You're never getting it back. Your account has no value. You don't even own it. If they close their doors... If Marvel Strike Force is like, bye, hey, we're closing in a month. If they tell you that, like, that's it. Hey, Robin. Like, you can't do anything. You don't get your money back. You can back charge maybe the last couple purchases you paid for, but that's it. You don't own it. There's no value. What's up, Moni? Congrats, bro. A Fox Next ad on my stream? That bothers me. Me, particularly. Here I am, level 68, pushing 69. Toxin throws debuffs, from what I've seen. Can't wait for Gambit. Good 4th or 5th symbiotes. Thinking of transitioning to them from AIM. Temporarily, you can use Graviton and Scientist Supreme, Dean, if you're currently using AIM. You can use, like, just to hold over, and then the other two characters on the symbiotes need to be a... Like, honestly, I've used Star-Lord and Groot before. That's a great setup. Star-Lord will give energy to either Carnage or Venom, whoever needs it the most, because Spider-Man doesn't need it. He's fine. Groot can clear the debuffs as well as put death proofs on, and when you ult with Star-Lord, you're guaranteed to always call Groot as well as another character. It's just a really interesting team setup. Groot doesn't heal that well, but it's enough to keep them up usually, and your symbiotes should be able to take a lot of time. That's one option. There's plenty of options to use with the symbiotes. You can use, like, Minerva and Ultron and be like, haha, my nerds. You know, doesn't really matter. You can't really go wrong. That's why the symbiotes are so good right now. The 3-piece kit is better than, like, most other teams. 5 symbiote team would be OP. Would a fanboy out there and well out all once? Yeah. Is Ebony Maw worth pushing for the 5th star I'm missing on Karnak? Yes. Ebony Maw is more than just Black Order. Ebony Maw is a counter in arena to opposing what's it called? Phoenixes, with a lot of extra splash value. Ebony Maw has a lot of value in raids that people don't quite see, because there are a lot of hero controller characters like Hawkeye and Black Widow, and a lot of raids, including U7, have those characters randomly placed around, so once they die, you're also barriering your entire team. It's a big deal. Something people don't give credit to. People just think about Maw's like defense up and his ability. Maw's an overall phenomenal character. I use him in U7 on my main account. Thoughts on Mysterio? What was your thought on Mysterio in Spider-Man Far From Home? Well-designed character. Like, the acting was great. Jake Gyllenhaal did a great job. What did you use? What team did you use for Villain 7? What, on my main account? I used all 3. I used a full Hydra team, a full AIM team, and a full Sinister 6 team, because all my teams are like 200k. You know what I mean? Like, on this account, I'm not level 70. I can't do it. I don't prepare for meaningless tasks. Meaningless tasks is oh my god, how are you going to beat the first 3 nodes of the hard campaign? That's a meaningless task. How am I going to beat it? With characters in my roster. Do I need to do it right now? Well, I do want to farm Hela as fast as possible, but I don't need to prioritize everything over farming Hela. Like, that's a stupid thing, but done by stupid people. Hey, Tony, you think Star Wars, Minerva, Groot, Rocket, and SSM would be good for DD2? I don't like Rocket, but you can use it, Brian. I just don't like Rocket. Rocket only matters if Star Wars giving him energy. Star Wars not going to be giving him energy. You can use it. It's totally fine. But he's not ulting a lot. So I would replace Rocket. But that's it. I just don't like 3 tech characters. Who would I replace Rocket with? Anybody. IW, Shuri, Carnage. No matter. Popped in mobile, boomer stream. Seems they did mess up and use 2x use cores and the bitch customer support about false ever. Yeah, nice, Justin. It's a good idea. I'll rephrase that. Which ones do you have available for this account? Oh, that's a better question. All of them. I have a full Sinister 6 team and a full AIM team, and I have a lot of Hydra characters because I'm ready to go. So the day that it happens, I'm just going to probably use my Sinister 6. Basically, it comes down to where my investment is. My Sinister 6 are all like 12k, right? My AIM is all very low investment. So if it cost me nothing to get AIM up higher, I'd use AIM. Like that's, you know, that's totally reasonable. If it costs me more to bring up an entire AIM team than it does to bring up my Sinister 6, I'll max my Sinister 6 to like 20k each character, and then I'll just put in 1 or 2 healers and call it a day. Current arena team is Yo-Yo, Hela, Black Bolt. Who should I take out for Ultron? Minerva. Meanwhile, Minerva and Hela would for DD3 Cosmic. I'm using Ebony Maw, Minerva, Hela, Black Bolt, and Invisible Woman. I have a 5 set up for Cosmic, mostly because I use those characters in other game modes, so it was relevant. 7-star Sif. Okay, that's an easy question. We're talking about red stars. Oh, a 7-star Sif or a 4-star Proxima. Depends on the rest of your characters. Like, I wouldn't bring Sif in if I'm not bringing in at least Hela and Thor. But if I am bringing in Hela and Thor, I would absolutely bring Sif in. What healer would you add to Sinister 6? God, these are people who never watch my stream. That's all it is. These questions are asked by people who never watch me. Hydra Scientist is my primary one. AIM Researcher being a second. Hydra Scientist is a better healer as he adds Death Proof. AIM Researcher heals more characters but less frequently. So I plan on using like Hydra Scientist on that team. And then I might bring in like a 3rd character. You basically just can't use Scientist Supreme. The only value Scientist Supreme has, right? 2 values. The full AIM team, a ridiculously overpowered team for U7. Those are the 2 values she has. That's it. Any other value, she's useless. Anything. Marcos Casino Proxima was okay. Proxima's a good character, but like if you have a high-ass Sif and you're working on the rest, you should be fine. This is the question and answer part of the stream, I guess. My only concern with Proxima is 4 stars only for Dark Dimension 3. Yeah, that's my concern too. But like if Proxima gets a stun off and then dies, first of all, let me break an idea that some people may or may not have. If you've ever seen me do Dark Dimension 3, your characters don't live. My 110k Black Bolt doesn't live. 111k Black Bolt. My 96k Sabretooth takes 3 hits. And the reason he takes 3 hits is because after the first hit, he has Death Proof. The second hit procs it, and then the 3rd hit kills him. So, yeah. Like, the characters in Dark Dimension 3 is not a skill fight. It's not a skill fight. It's not, I wonder how valuable this can be. It's how many times can I ult with Phoenix, or how often can I control the board state as it goes, whatever the fight is. So having a Proxima Midnight at 4-star just means no different than having her at 7-star, which is she's still gonna die in 1 hit, maybe 2 depending on the fight or who happens to hit her. But 1, you can refresh the fight, and 2, it's about hitting that stun on the right characters. Most of those fights are about like knowing what to do and how to do it. Yeah, and Proxima will always go first because she's super duper fast. So if her cooldowns are up at the right times, you could just stun the character or offense down a bunch of characters and it'll be fine. Placement on Symbiote Spider-Man, Hela. Yeah, that's SLMEIW SSM Hela. So it's Star Wars, Minerva, IW, SSM, and Hela. A lot of that's because of dodging, but yeah. Go Shield. Believe in your dreams. Where's my beverage? And of course, my keto junk food. Boop. Oh, I got some cool stuff for you guys.
Oh, now I get it. She's a moron.
Who X-Force should be strongest to weakest? I wish I did a video series on those are the 3 characters that you should work on for every team. I should do that, right, guys? I should do a video series about which 3 characters are the most important investments of every team. That'd be interesting. And I could even put, like, pictures of them up. And like, you would be able to see... almost like a trio or a power trinity. To stop being a jerk, Assad, the answer is, in no particular order, Negasonic, X-23, and Cable. Those are the 3 characters that make the team run. People will argue, but if you're Deadpool... Sorry, let me actually put on the impression of the people who actually believe this. If you're Deadpool, if he's not strong, then in one situation in the entire game, then he won't get attacked first, and then other things happen. Do you want to win the fight, or do you want a strong Deadpool to take a hit once? Domino and Deadpool ain't gonna make it. Sorry to tell you. Those other 3 characters will absolutely win the fight on their own. Against, yes, the Mercs. Against, yes, the Fury Shield. Like, they will. Yeah, but I'm also a jerk. I have to maintain my status as jerk. Because...
Wait, how can you be semi-perfect? You're either perfect or you're not me. There's no gray area.
How close are you to getting Shuri? Oh, I'm getting Shuri. Those characters are like 20 shards away or so. Like, it's not even an issue. Not even a slight issue I'm getting Shuri. Like, and I'm not even farming them every day. I'm just farming them when I want to. No question. I'm absolutely getting Shuri. Domino always dies in one hit. Yep. Yeah. Ah, yes. But a lovable jerk with good YouTube videos. Oh, I don't know. I like when someone else messaged me and said, someone shit talked you. And I'm like, today ends in Y. I love the Sinister Six, man. They're my low-key favorite mediocre team in this entire game. Does Cap have DBC character in the front as trademark? No, I can do it. Bah! It's Kame House. What's your plan after Shuri? No, my plans are over. I don't have any more plans. Like, my plans are get Ultron. I don't know if you know this, but Tony's a jerk. Yeah, right. My plan is get Ultron. There's no more plans. Like, we're done. I'm getting every legendary the next pass they come around, including Black Bolt. Like, including Black Bolt. And by that definition, I might start paying Maw. Phoenix is the one I'm not going to hit, but I'm way closer on Phoenix, considering I have never farmed any of those characters, than I'd care to admit. So the legendary part of this game for me is done. It's now we just play the hurry up and wait game. And the hurry up and wait game is one of the reasons why time is so relevant in this game. Let's be clear. There's a period of time by which Magneto is good for you, and then he becomes relevant, or less and less relevant. They did a Strike Time and no one cared? Yeah, because no one watches Strike Time. Tony, a mobile gamer stream, your Tony's Scungili do might have a free sub. Is Zeke's in it? Zeke's is always in the last 5 minutes, I think. I don't know what happens in Strike Time because it's not good content. Like, you would think that if you're a company that's putting out content, there would be a script or at least a rehearsal, or you have, what's the word? What's the thing a person has where they can just talk off the cuff without any preparation? Charisma. Charisma. And in general, game developers don't have charisma. Accidentally linked my U7 video to your boss. Yo, if he was like, thanks, this'll help. Or imagine he hit you back like, yo, fuck Tony. Oh, that'd be great. Pew! It's a good City Heroes team for 7.1.3. Honestly, it's like Symbiote, Spider-Man, Ms. Marvel, and then 3 other City Heroes. Doesn't really matter. Maybe you got a sub from it? I hope it just says Gambit's boss. That's funny. Strike Time was horrible. Yeah, that's because they don't know what they're doing. Because content creators like Valley, I'm not even saying me, I'm dog shit. But like Valley goes through everything, and like I'll tell you a little secret about Valley, and he's gonna get really mad when I say it. He's not gonna care. Valley goes through like a mental checklist. He writes a checklist down, and then he mimes it through. He's like, Valley Maniacs. Quip. Like, and that's not a bad thing. That's how all content creators go. Trust me, my Patreon page is now having you get the access to the video that hasn't been clipped, which isn't always great, but sometimes I'm just like, fuck! Like I just, like, I'll cough or my phone will start ringing and you'll hear like, boop, 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 and I'm like, I was saying something, you... He was an actor before? I don't know if he was an actor, actually. But that's not a criticism. That's not a criticism at all. Like, that's just saying, like, mobile doesn't do that, but also mobile has done video and content for so long. Like, mobile just knows. He's like, okay, I have to do this. So when I do video, like, my videos with Valley and my videos with mobile are as different as 2 videos I could ever do are, and then my videos with, like Casino or, like, Schubert and stuff, like, they're all different. Everyone has their own thing. And people always ask me, like, what's your content creation? I'm like, I turn on voice record and we talk. And we just talk. I had a successful Magic the Gathering podcast for 2 years, which is a weird statement to make. It was called the RTFC podcast, and me and 3 other people, my Sinister Six setup, sure. Me and like 3 other people with like a random Magic guest would show up, and we would just talk about not just Magic, but everything. You want to see my Sinister Six setup? Yeah, it's like this. And this is going to change, probably. But yeah, every content creator has their own setup. Mine is a little bit more like, just talk. I'll edit everything out. And more importantly, if I need to edit something, I always do this. I apologize in advance. Because that puts a little spike in the middle of my chat. And I can, when I'm doing the editing, I just go, these are places I have to look for. You could see Valley editing his video every time you got him to crack up laughing. It happened a lot. If you look at that video, which was like an hour long, we recorded for 2 hours. That means that he had to cut an hour of me just being like, nerd joke, and him just dying of laughter. It was awesome. I noticed how mobile gamers... Oh, I didn't notice that. What are your thoughts on the cadence of new tunes? Newer players aren't able to catch up. Also creates when a new character comes out. I have no thoughts on it. First of all, this is incredibly important. New players not being able to catch up is not equal to the cadence of new tunes. They could release 10,000 characters a month. They could be Raid Shadow Legends level. They could say like 14 characters come out this month. Doesn't matter. Because catch up is a weird word, right? Catch up is an incredibly weird word. What do you mean by catch up? What, like, do you mean have the power of a roster? You, as a new player, should never catch up to me. You should never do it. You like, Imagine if I, who's played this game for over 2 years, right? If I look to my left and somebody who's played this game for 6 months is almost half my TCP. Oh, that feels great. That feels like the last 2 years weren't a complete waste. There needs to be... You don't just get to be at the end game. And that's why I have a problem with so many people talking about, like, game starts and, like, things to focus on. Because everybody has... This is not that game. There are games like that. This is not that game. You do not get to skip over, like, content. And you do not get to race to the end game. You don't get to race to U7. You don't get to say, well, I'm in U7 after 6 months. Be like, are you? How much did you spend? Nothing? Then you're not in U7 after 6 months. Or you're not in U7, your alliance is in U7, and you're being shilled your way through it. Like, you're not in U7. You can't even... And if you do that, you're still going to be so far behind me in every other aspect. If I take my 7 million account and actually it's like 7.5 now. If I take that account and I put it into an alliance in like gold 1 or gold 2, I could sell that. I could be like, hey, listen, you put me in your alliance and you give me control over what happens, and I guarantee you're gonna go to gold 3. Because I've done that many times. I've made alliances gold 3 alliances. Like, I can guarantee it'll happen. And then once I'm done, I'll bow out, you know? But guarantee you a gold 3 setup. And I'll teach you how to play the game. Like, that's something I get to do. New characters don't matter. This is meta and the new tunes come and counter that team. Well, who are you competing against that you're not worried about it, Bastion? You have to remember the most important thing. Every single person in your arena shard, so the people you're competing with in arena, are the exact same as you. With the exception of how much money they've spent. New players are being forced to do Ultima 7. Correct. If you guys don't know why I left my old alliance and moved into another one, my old alliance, whom I still love and have nothing but like positive energy for in my heart, they're like, we're gonna start doing U7, and I was like, can't do it. Can't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Everyone is putting so much focus on things that are partially relevant. How many tier 4s do you need? No, bam. How many tier 4s do you need to work on the 6 characters that you have invested in? You know what I mean? Like, take it easy, Thomas. How many tier 4s do you need? How many purple ability materials do you need to start bringing up war teams? Your strongest team is still representative of one of 2 things in war. A handful of defense wins, or 1 attack win. That's it. Like, you see Black Order teams getting defense wins in war. Well, that's not because the Black Order is a good defense team. It's because absolutely nobody knows how to beat it. And then there's the lie that goes around saying, well, if you don't have Black Order, you can't beat a Black Order. Like, that's not true. Even in my original alliance, the main alliance on my main account that I had, we still only did U7 twice a week. We did it on Wednesday and... No, we did it on Monday and Thursday. Because those are the days we got raid heals and everything back. So, like, we still only did U7 twice a week because we needed the resources. And we powered through all of the U6. Even when the slider came out, we still did that. And then we started working our way up U7 slider. I think they stopped at, like, they could do U7.4, but I think they were doing U7.3 reliably, and U7.4 was occasional. I'm explaining why in Blitz you battle lowest and higher rather than highest and lowest. Yes, because of the linear passage of time and the way points work, John Pierre. The more points, the higher in tier you are in Blitz, you get more points for a win. In tier 1, your team only gets, like, very small and limited amount of points. In tier 8, you get basically a shit ton of points. So you want to use weaker teams at weaker levels so that by the time you get to the stronger levels, you can use more teams that are powerful to give you more points overall. Yeah, the way to succeed in Blitz, contrary to what anyone will show you, is not having one team that you dump all your cores in, nor is it blitzing every 2 hours on cooldown. The way to succeed in Blitz is to recognize which of your teams can win where and using them exclusively there. It's why my entire Blitz series constantly proves that I can Blitz 3 times a day and hit top 2K. Now, the reason I can do that is because my roster is 7 million. Actually, I could do it at 6.5, but that didn't actually matter. Other people have to understand that the lower your roster is, because you're competing against other people, because Blitz is a broken system, the more effort you have to put in. They should put some of the tier 2 materials in. Yeah, no problem here. Dude, more people run out of... And it's so funny, because the people... I always find that the people who think it's things that are not an issue, there are so many people who are... What's the word? I don't want to say mind... Like mind control. That's a bad way of saying it. I made a team that can do it at way weaker than that. With no legendaries. Conditioned. Conditioned is actually the best way to say that. People are conditioned. It doesn't even matter anymore. Yeah. People are conditioned to believe generic information. Like, there's more idiots playing this game than... I'm not even saying you have to be smart to play this game. I don't actually think that's true. But there are way more idiots playing this game. And if you ever want confirmation on that, go to Facebook, join the MSF official group, and just wait. Damn, you're right, Bradley. People have just been conditioned to accept bad advice. More importantly, people are so conditioned for a lot of things. People are conditioned for the idea that, like, one team is going to help you throughout the entire game. That's just simply not true. Never has been, never will be. Doesn't matter. So I'm not smart. I'm dumb as shit. I'm the king dumbass and the cult leader. There's people who are conditioned to believe that, like, every single person who insulted me, because that's the word I'm using, by telling me I was wrong about TechWing, they shut up real quick when literally any other, not new characters, but characters that existed in the game were arranged to the point where it was relevant. What's your process to harm farm node? Hard farm means every day guaranteed and sometimes double or triple farm. Never more than triple, but it's always a trade-off, right? So let's use this for example. No, you have to be less dumb than the average person. And the dumbest people I've ever met believe they're smart. But I've never met somebody in my life who had to tell me they were smart. I've never met a smart person who had to tell me they were smart. Ever. You just know. The reason I bring in delay is because I have changed lines since U6 and jump shift. There's just, like... U7s don't... Like, the reward structure is one piece of material. Yeah. People want something. Everybody want... First of all, even ignoring the concept of stupidity, which we don't need to think about. People want... to believe that they're right. People want to believe that their favorite anything is right. People want to believe that they can get away with working on something. It's the Defenders are a great team. I'm not saying they're not. They stopped being a great team right around level 62, 63. That's when they stopped being a great team. There are people who are not willing to accept that. I'm not saying that the Defenders won't help you. I'm not saying that they're not a good team, and I'm not saying that. But if you can't accept the fact that your Defenders, after, like, level 60, are no longer useful, like, that's you. It goes the same thing with AIM. It goes the same thing with a lot of other characters. People don't want hard. Why do people like information that's just spoon-fed to them? Tony, who's the essential tier 4s on the Sinister Six? Zero. There are no essential tier 4s on anyone in the Sinister Six. There is absolutely nothing that they cannot do without specific tier 4s. It just doesn't exist. Now, people will ask other questions. Like, but Tony, how do I get my Sinister Six team to beat Mercs? And I'm like, oh, that's a different conversation. Because now you're saying, how do I take this team and put them in a very specific task? A very specific task. And that is not the same thing as saying, you know, a better example than that is Supernatural. What is or Fantastic Four? What does Fantastic Four require? Like, what tier 4s do they require? The Fantastic Four team? None, really. They're still gonna win more war fights than they lose. But if you need a very specific thing, if you need them to be able to beat, we'll say, Asgardians, well, then you need to make sure that, like, your assists are counting and your thing is killing a character when he hits, and you know, your Namor is doing the damage he needs to do. So you're not asking a question about what's essential. You're asking, how do I take Team X and make them do action Y? Which is not the same as essential. There's only probably about 6 or 7 essential tier 4s. I would even argue, and I say this all the time, people call me an idiot because they don't understand how words work. There's not a single tier 4 on Symbiote Spider-Man that is essential. They're just all really good. You know, like, they're all good. But none of them are essential. I would even say that Carnage's tier 4 in no way is essential. And is passive anyway. But it's amazing, and I absolutely would do it, no question, you know? And I would recommend it. There's only... Who has essential tier 4s? Let's see. Black Panther's passive. That's essential. Not to the game, to him. It gives him 100% turn meter on kill. How you choose to use that, that's on you. If you care about Black Panther, that's on you. But that's an essential tier 4. Thanos' ult passive is an essential tier 4. Guaranteed on-death energy is necessary. Guaranteed as opposed to a chance where it doesn't happen, especially because of the way you use him outside of that one team he's on. You want to funnel energy as often as possible. So, there's one. Think of other characters with essential tier 4s. There's not many. There truly isn't many. Ultron Special, yeah, that's actually a great one. Ultron Special is an essential tier 4 because you guarantee the third summon, and without that third summon, you lose the ability to heal and remove buffs from debuffs from Ultron, which you need to make sure you're constantly rolling. It is going to be a video. They're just, and I'm sorry. People don't understand. People want things spoon-fed. IW Special. All characters stealth versus some. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't hate it. In war, it won't matter, Signer. In war, it won't matter. In Blitz, it'll matter. In war, it won't. HD Polar Bear. What's up, baby? Course corrected your follow your advice manager in the game. Yeah. All my advice like, people will say, like, Tony's giving bad advice. But am I? Because everyone who's following my advice seems to be having fun. Does everyone forget that this game is about having fun? Because I think a lot of people worry about things that don't matter. What recommend farm for Day 1 player? Guardians. Farm towards the Guardians. Yeah, which characters need tier 4s? In every team review I do, I discuss tier 4s, and I even go so far as to say the most important thing, which is, look, this guy is the main damage dealer on the team, but my tier 4s is what that team needs in order to... Is it ever correct to buy Gamora? Yeah. Yeah. Having fun. And some people have fun by being hyper-competitive. And if you're trying to be hyper-competitive, my advice will help you. Star Wars passive? No, not even kinda. Not even a little bit. Star Wars passive is not even... Essential. I'm actually now recommending no one invest in Star Wars passive anymore. Shuri's tier 4s? Essential? None. None of them. The best bang for the buck is her ultimate and her passive. Her passive is good. Her ultimate is phenomenal. Yeah. I heard Star Wars is pretty essential. You heard that wrong. From the wrong... Oh, Star Wars basic? Oh, fuck you. Seriously? So for those who don't know, I fat finger clicked this, and then I opened a ticket with support, and they're like, sorry, can't help you. And I was like, no, you definitely can. You've done it before for other players. Here's proof. And they're like, nope, we don't refund abilities. I'm like, no, I'm not saying I did it and don't like it. I'm saying it's a mistake. So this is the only tier 4 I've placed in Star-Lord, and it was completed by accident, and I'm super pissy about it. Like, seriously, I'm super pissy about it. Yeah, if you're new and hyper-competitive, you also better have a bank account. If you're new, and that's only if you're new. If you're new and hyper-competitive, the only way you're going to even kind of come close, because you define competition. You define competition, not anybody else. Foxnex doesn't define what competition is, you do. And people don't like that. People used to get mad at me when I would tell them, like, oh yeah, no, I'm not upgrading certain characters, my TCP. I was keeping my TCP, like, moderate for a long time of not upgrading characters at high red stars and stuff. And they would say, like, well, you're not competing at the highest level. I'm like, listen, I don't know what, you know, what stories you have to tell yourself to put yourself to sleep at night to justify spending $20, $30, $40, $50,000 in a mobile game, of which I spent a shit ton. I'm not, like, claiming that's not me. I don't know what stories you have to justify yourself, but spending the most money does not put you at the highest level. It is the #1 reason why you can directly find a difference between people who enjoy balanced PvP and people who hate balanced PvP. There is nobody who hates balanced PvP that hasn't spent a shit ton of money in this game. Because the sheer concept of having to face off against a human being that has not spent the same amount of money they have, and God help them lose because they realize they didn't, somewhat real, because they didn't realize it. And again, like, what's the worst tier 4 in the game? Without a doubt, Nobu's passive. Nobu's ultimate. Worst tier 4 in the game. I'm not even kidding. Worst tier 4 in the game, no questions asked. Very close to Mantis's basic. But worst tier 4 in the game is Nobu's passive. I don't even know if yeah, there it is. Gain 2 counter on self. Anything on Nebula? No, all of her tier 4s actually do improve her. The only way a new player would ever catch up to me is if I stop playing. And I mean for a while. If money isn't an issue, a new player can catch up to me in about 3 months. Who was the other person you asked about? Is it a mistake for you to go for Magneto before Sure AW since I have a 2... Is it a mistake? No. Actually, cool thing about Magneto is his impact in Arena is exclusively better the earlier you get him. The later you get him, he just becomes a war character. But he's a good war character. He's like one of the best. I forgot who we were talking. Who was the... Oh, Nebula. Nebula, thank you. The passive has a higher chance to assist. But this still does more damage. Is it good? No. Do not spend anything. As a matter of fact, I have over-invested in Nebula. I have over-invested in her. My goal is to never have any... Like, that's it. We're done with her. I beat DD2 with Mr. Sinister, Minerva, Hela, Scientist Supreme, and SM2. Nice! Just ready for her rework. Is Merc Riotguard special second... Merc Riotguard special? I love Merc Riotguard, so... I might be biased. Yes. Yes, it is. For anyone who doesn't understand why I laughed, it's because he ults every 3 turns. So giving himself 3 turns of defense up means that every time he would defense up, he would just defense. Like, he'll always give himself more. Like... Oh, that's pretty funny. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's the worst, but I don't think it's necessary. Combat pistol. It's pretty bad too. Merc Riotguard's awesome because he doesn't need a single tier 4. None of them. Not a single tier 4. Mercs are a fun team when you can play them. I use them all the time. I use them in the Gamma Raid when you have to use the defenders or mercs. I just use the mercs. It's hilarious. Low spending series? Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, you have no idea. That's the video that's coming out now. It's going to come out tomorrow because I break down all of the expenditure lines. I'll give you a little bit of a preview of it right now. Like, first thing is $25 or less a month. The offers that you are looking to at. And then it goes $25 to $50 a month. The offers that you're looking at. It's always recursive too. So like, if you're willing to spend under $25 a month in a mobile game, and that, by the way, because it's spending, free to play doesn't matter. Like, if you're not spending anything, you're not a spender, therefore it does not matter. Your conversation does not count. Like, you're not part of this. This is about people who are willing to spend any money, because free-to-play players are the base level of where a player should be able to get to. Spending is supposed to put you further than a free-to-play. So anything spending $25, like between $1 and $25, like, these are the offers you want to use. $25 to $50, it's those offers plus a couple others. $51 to $100, it's those offers plus a couple hundred. $100 to $250, which is its own rate, because, you know, some people on a month might be willing to spend $125 or whatever. Some people might just have a separate amount that says, like, I could spend $200 a month on something, and I'm choosing this mobile game. And then the last thing is $250 up, because the true difference between being able to spend $250 a month and being able to spend, like, $1,000 a month is, at that point, it's just amount of money you have. If you're willing to spend $250 a month on this game, you're also probably willing to spend $500 a month in this game, but you don't have $500 a month to spend in this game. The Guppy to play? I don't know if it's 50 or 60 or some weird number. We haven't decided yet. So it can't be 25, because 25, it's the same thing. First month is a new character, is that new character bundle, and then every other month after that is the energy bundle, and that's it. So you want to know right now how to spend $24 a month? I'll tell you right now. Start the game, buy the Guardians or the Sinister 6-pack. It doesn't actually matter which one. I would say Guardians, but it really doesn't actually matter which one. Move on next month. 30,000, the 3,000 energy pack for $24.99. Repeat ad nauseum until you get Ultron. Once you get Ultron, it doesn't matter anymore, because now you could spend it on characters or gear packs or whatever. And those team gear packs don't go away; they're just always there until you buy them. So then you can start buying those, no problem. 50 is like 2 team packs, or a team pack and a new character, or, you know, a team pack and an energy thing, or whatever. Sinister 6 bundle saves you 3 months of farming Shocker. Yeah, like, those are the 2 I would buy. And again, Oh, I'm gonna start the. Here's the question. I want to start this game strong. How do I start this game strong? Okay, buy all 4 starter packs. Work on Guardians. Work on Sinister Six. Don't buy the X-Men one ever. 70 for character offers. But I'm not trying to. It needs to be a reasonable number. I don't know. Like, I can't be 100 because most people, like, I'm not trying to show off spending $100 a month. If I did that, I would do it on my main account where I spend $300 a month. I'm trying to talk about, like, what investment line is close. So I think it's 50. I think 50 is a nice round number. But I don't know if less is better, or basically it's within $10. So I want to say the account will spend anywhere from $40 to $60 a month. Do a lot of people spend that much? Of course they don't. Of course they don't. Most people spend zero. Most players of this game spend less than $1 a month. $50 is a lot. It is. But I've already told you if you're willing to spend $25. Character pack on week 1. Energy pack every time. I feel like flexing is... I do like flexing. The most important thing is the money doesn't carry over. If we're gonna do a flex, that money won't carry over. If you're gonna spend in the early game. Honestly, the truth is, I don't actually have to spend that much because of all the money I've already spent in this game. Like, a new character comes out, I really don't have to buy him. Dolphin account? Considering the fact that I will only be buying things that immediately improve me? Yeah, probably. Would you buy important War Store characters for cores in their store? No. No, absolutely not. Oh no, I'm all out of my beverages. That makes me sad. $60 would be good, but no energy offer for more variety. Yeah, I'm not putting that in there. You know, like I'm not gonna make a thing where it's like I can't buy. Because at that point, it's not realistic. I like to show people where the difference, because now we have this entire series, right? This entire series is probably gonna last, well, it's gonna last until the day I get Ultron. After I get Ultron, none of it matters. I'm giving this account away. Doesn't matter anymore. So after this, we're gonna have a comparison, right? And it's gonna be, okay, this is where I was. So now I wouldn't have to worry about like my recaps. So like I could do a 30-day recap, right? And say like, hey, okay, so the free-to-play account, I was here. Here I've spent money. I don't play any more or less. It's still my second account, and I'm here. This is how much further along I am comparatively. And that is gonna be like the space, or like, this is how I spent money. And more importantly, we'll be able to see if any of my purchases made sense or not. Like, hey, I bought the Guardians early. I'm using them as a team. I'm only investing key on this while I work on. How is this free-to-play account? I don't know, man. What's the title of this video? Wait, which one question did we not mix? What's the logic of not picking a total? No, I'm not picking a total. I'm just deciding which amount of money makes the most sense. Do you think naturally throughout the course you'll get Ultron, you'll unlock Black Bolt? I'll get Ultron before Black Bolt, but yeah, of course I'm gonna unlock Black Bolt. Like, without farming? No, I don't think so. Hela's too hard to come by without farming her. US. But I've naturally come across a ton of characters as there is. So, like, this is nothing. These guys are done. As far as I'm concerned, these two characters are done. I might not even, like, I'm waiting for the double drop day, and that's it. Once I get them to 5-star, I'm done. Like, now I don't care about getting them to 6. Like, I don't know. But this is all we're waiting on, right? Like, I can't put this on him because I'm not level 70. Okay. What point are you starting on how you like starting the Star Wars event for this account? What point are you starting on? Like how... as of right now, nothing has changed. I'm still prioritizing... remember, the core concept of the Star Wars start was to show that in 30 days, I could have had a Star Wars. How far am I from 28? I'm 68 and a half right now. Take it easy, Beatport. Once in a while I'll do 50, but sometimes it sits in my Google Play for a week. I don't know. It depends. Like, here's an example. If Fury, right? If Nick Fury... Yeah, 90 days. 3 months. I always say 30 instead of 3 months. So I could prove that I could unlock Star Wars in 3 months. They gave us an extra month, and I was exactly 10 character shards shy of a 6-star Star Wars. So that extra month, I was able to get 130 character shards. I'm sorry, 200 character shards of 4 of the 5 other characters and 190 of the, you know, like. But like, if Nick Fury becomes passive, I might like worry about getting them. You know, I don't know. I still have to think it through. Because I don't know the difference. I know when you're free-to-play... My opinion of free-to-play is... work on getting the most important pieces of the game that will help you get to the next stage of the game. That's the idea. Because eventually you will catch up. Eventually you will not catch up to where I am, catch up to where I was. You will eventually be able to have a 7 million TCP roster. As a free-to-play player... that is probably going to take you years. Seriously. It took WikiWolf, who is a complete free-to-play player in this game, years to overtake me, and he played longer than me. This just address the events screw up on Twitter. Never a dull moment with this game, right? I'm a Phoenix short of a full roster. Nick Fury star would be cool if he gets retired. Yeah. And again, like, I wouldn't, like, prioritize Nick Fury, but the second I get him, I'd be really happy. A lot of the things you would use to get Nick Fury, you can get early. The only confirmation I have is that, like, I'm definitely not starting with AIM. Like, I'm definitely not starting with the team that doesn't matter. You know? What you gonna do? But I think that, like, with spending, keep in mind, my goal is the goal of every player in this game, whether they believe it or not. Unlock Ultron as quickly as possible. And, like, be capable of doing all of the rest of the content in the game. That should be every player's goal in this game. If you have any other goal in this game, you've done it wrong. You've done it wrong. Like, you're doing it wrong. If your goal is unlock Black Bolt before Ultron, K. Yeah. No idea. Haven't tested it yet. Probably about... well, you wouldn't use the full Sin 6. That's something that's true. Yeah. But I'm not saying if you get Black Bolt. I'm saying if your goal is to get Black Bolt before Ultron. Not if you get Black Bolt. Not if you happen across a character. If you're choosing priorities, you're choosing the wrong priorities. Oh, with Hydra Scientist? 150, 160? Shouldn't be that high. Get everyone to, like, 20, 25k. Should be fine. Should the new goal after Ultron be Doom? No. I'm so sorry to tell you guys this. Most of the people in this chat are not going to see Doom for 6 months plus. Do you know why I know that? Because 6 months after the release of Ultron, we finally got to 20,000 people. Yeah, the issue is not about which team is better. The issue is about investment. It's harder to invest in AIM than it is to invest in a team like the Sinister Six, which is a team you should have invested in already so you can get 2 legendaries. It's a good goal after Ultron. War. War. After you unlock Ultron, 100% of all of your resources should go into being a good and competitive war player. Because war will bring up Blitz teams, and Blitz teams will give you new characters, and new characters will help you in war. And all of these things will line up to giving you a phenomenal U6 and U7 team that you can then use, because you already have a couple of the characters that you can use. So, after Ultron, war, yep. Honestly, it shouldn't be that much of an issue if you played the game right to the beginning, because then you're already wide enough that you just have to invest in teams, and you could probably bring up, because you have Ultron, because you have good resources, because you have options, you could probably bring up multiple teams over the course of a month. I'm serious. I'm sorry to be the guy to say it, but, like, you're not unlocking Doom. Like, I'm not going to be among the top 1,000 people to get Doom, and I give a shit, and I'm spending money on it. Like, the day I get in is when I start spending money, and I'll spend however many cores it takes to do it. That seems fine, Tina. Oh no, I'm saying once you get a legendary to 5-star, you don't have to worry about it. You still get to choose what you do with your roster in the game you play. You could still be like, I want more Shuri, or I want a stronger Star-Lord, or Magneto, or whatever. That's fine. Like, I'm not going to stop you from that. I'm just saying, war. Like, it's the same conversation. I'm not unlocking red stars for Split Alone 2. Yeah, I'm sorry. And there's going to be so many people who watch the content creators that do the same thing they did in Dark Dimension 3. Do you know why? Because content creators rushed into Dark Dimension 1 and had a terrible time of it. Content creators rushed into Dark Dimension 2, and as they were getting lapped by the people who had stronger Minervas and good characters who figured it out, obliterated. We saw content creators talk about how you need to use Shield Trooper because he's so cheap to get you into Dark Dimension 3. And then they watch as that Shield Trooper gets 1 counter attack for 0 damage and then dies. People are rushing to be the first to give bad advice. And I'd rather wait and be the 17th person to do something and give good advice than be one of the first 5 to be idiots. That's me. What type of team should I use to get through Hero 7? Symbiote Spider-Man, Ms. Marvel, 3 other hero characters. I like watching other CCs in DD because I learn exactly what not to do immediately. That's fair. One thing is true, and you can actually ask him. I told Mobile, do not rush to get into Dark Dimension. And then this was his exact response. And I'm not even exaggerating, and you can show him this, and he'll be like, yeah, he's like, I have to get into mobile mode. But content! Word for word exact response. That was his word for word. He literally said, but content to me. And I was like, alright, bro. Like, go produce content. The path is known? Yeah. Dark Dimension, the pawns go first. Real 2K, that is the absolute best way I've ever seen that. That is the absolute best way I've ever seen that phrased. Here's the line. Here's the line. There's the people who are willing to say, strategy, I'm throwing money at it. And then there are the middle ground of people who are willing to say, I have a strategy, but they still threw money at it. They're just lying about it. Right? They're like, like, oh no, here's my strategy, but I still threw like $500 or $600. Like, I don't even know how much some of the content creators cored out, but I've spent a total of, get ready for this in my DD3 run. I've spent a total of 400 cores in Dark Dimension 3 because I just don't want to. Dark Dimension 3 We don't have... You want to know that... I say this all the time. Do you want to know how to beat Dark Dimension 3? Ask Don Satori. Guy's got a 6 million TCP roster, and he's number 10 on the timed boards. And he streamed the entire... He streamed his entire run. Like, he streamed for, like... Like, he streamed until he had, like, done with cooldowns, went offline, went online. He did it... It was, like, 4 days and, like, 19 hours or something. But... That is a dude who did throw some money, like, to make sure he had the right things and the right characters. But that dude did what people with 8, 9, 10, 11 million rosters spent a shit ton more money than him to do. 6 million TCP roster. Ask him. If you need to reach out to him, go in my Discord and tag at that Don Sidori. Like, at Don will come up. Dude will show you. He has YouTube. He has content for it. He's showing people it. He's doing a series right now. I'm talking with him about it. About putting up a YouTube series. Yeah, that's true. You want to know how to beat it? You ask the people who use skill and knowledge of the game. And maybe he leaned into red stars, and he'll tell you that. Hey, I had a really high red star on Thor, so like I use Thor. But if you don't, you could probably use this character and get away with it. You know, like. 4 days to beat Dark Dimension without spending a ton of money with a roster that size tells you everything you need to know. Is there any reason to use cores? Energy refreshes, campaign refreshes. Occasionally, there are really good bundles. Here, look at my cores. So I'm a free-to-play player with 2,000 cores because the main thing I'm going to use cores for is the double drop days on Shocker and Green Goblin. Double drop days are my #1 core spend. So I want to have a nice pool of them. After that, it's campaigns. You know, especially because campaigns tend to give more than just the character shards for the campaign. So for players like us, or this account, for players who can't quite get value out of the new characters, usually those orbs have a good number of other characters that are worth unlocking anyway, so you do want to open a couple of those orbs. How the fuck are 5 and 6 million TCP finishing Dark Dimension 3 and 7.6 million can't even start it? The main reason why people are doing it is because power is an illusion in this game to make you feel like you're accomplishing something other than running on a windmill. Now, that doesn't matter. We're still having fun. Convinced they drop the rate on which drops happen on double drop days? I believe that. $5.5 million, spent 5k cores to beat Dark Dimension 3 in 38 days. Now looking back, I'm like, yeah, I didn't need to use that many cores. Remember, this is, I don't know if we did it here or on something else. This is incredibly important. I'm going to do it one more time here if I did it last time, just to show you. Hey guys, real quick, you spent 5,000 cores to beat it in 38 days. Okay, so 5,000 cores is about $50. Actually, it's not. It's 60, right? It's $65. Okay. So you spent $65 worth of cores. Right? Which means 5,000. Did you refresh one character or a full team? Because one character is 50, then 100, but a team is 200 and then 600. So we'll assume you refreshed every team, a team of 4 on average. That means you accelerated 25 attempts, which is 25 days, right? That's what an attempt is. An attempt is a day. So you spent $65 to finish the game 25 days ahead of other people. That's all it is. When you buy a refresh on any number of characters, the full team, one character, you're basically buying time. That's it. Majority is paying fee. Yeah, I'm just averaging it to 200 a day because that's a fair estimate if it's only like 1 or 2 characters or like whatever you're doing. Yeah, that's not horrible. Really? 25 days for $65? That would be normally correct if the reward at the end of it wasn't dog shit. Like, if the reward at the end of it was something. So basically, let's be clear. You didn't just spend that much money on the time. You spent that to save 25 days in order to get... Yeah. Justin hit the nail on the head on that one, too. I wish I had the chat on here, but for some reason, YouTube hates me. A lot of superior gear. What are you using that superior gear for right now? What are you using that superior gear for that you need it right now? No, you is in general. You understood. What team did you use to unlock Star-Lord? Groot. Yondu. Mantis. Drax. Ravager Bruiser. Ravager Bruiser was like 4K. It's in a video series. It's in my video series. I did it live. People saw it. It's a big difference between someone with a 6 million roster and a level 1 Hydra Grenadier and 6 million roster and a level 60 Hydra Grenadier. There's a big difference between someone with a 6 million roster. Yes. That's 100% accurate. That's why TCP has become a more meaningless stat. Because if you have a high red star of a bad character, I'm trying to think of. If you have a high red star, hold on, close my eyes. Wow, we just clicked Hydra Grenadier. If you have a high red star Scarlet Witch, right? If you have a 6 or 7 red star Scarlet Witch and you bring her up to gear tier 14, you're cheating. You're cheating. There's no other way to describe it. You're cheating. You don't have that 100,000 power she's gonna get, 120,000 power. That's not real. You literally have about, no joke, 70,000 more points in a character than the average player who's better than you has. You're cheating. You have a high red star Hydra minion, you have a high red star mercenary soldier, hand blade master, and you're like, I'm gonna max them out so they're the strongest. That's not how this game is played. This game is played with good characters being used well, not with strong characters being thrown around. Congrats, Yobi. Padding the numbers with Garbo red stars. Yeah, and the fact, you know why this is amazing? And do you know why I'm so happy that I don't have that problem? I'm not gonna have that problem. I look forward to the day that they release their version of Grand Arena, because that's what PvP is, right? It's designed to be the new Grand Arena Championship from Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And all of the people whose rosters have these utter dogshit characters at max investment, and they're increasing their TCP, which is forcing them to face off against people who have that TCP, but with good characters invested. Beautiful. Beautiful. Tell me how awesome that 7 red star Scarlet Witch is gonna be when you're facing off against the guy who's spent and done everything. Not gonna happen. So many chase characters. Yeah. Someone who went out of their way to open 40 red star orbs during the double drop rate of every legendary. Bloat versus Focus roster is so real in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Of course it's real in this game too. It truly is real. It's so real in this game. It's just, it's not as prominent. You don't see the difference of Bloat versus Focus for the first couple million TCP. You don't feel it. It's not there. You, at about 5 million TCP, you start seeing, because you at a 5 million is going to be in a 5 million alliance, and then you're going to go and see a guy in war who's got like a 100k Hydra team and a 100k Mercs team and a 180k fucking, what's it called? Fury Shield team, and then like a 300k Asgardians or 400k Asgardians, and you're like, uh-oh. How'd this happen? And then you're gonna look at him on attack, and all of his attack teams are like one-shotting the nodes they're supposed to. It's gonna be ridiculous. Your free-to-play... My free-to-play was... I'm not gonna say outperforming. My free-to-play account is currently performing at the level of somebody, and we saw this last week, was currently performing at people with 3 million TCP levels. Insofar as raids, insofar as actually technically war, because I could do like 6 attacks in a war, where most people couldn't because they put too much on war defense, but then again they needed to put on war defense because I wasn't, so Would I heard to get high TCP invest in 7 Red Star Scarlet Witch? Yes, Bradley would. It's the difference of, it's called roster bloat. It's something that's starting to become relevant. Like, if you have a high red star on a dog shit character and you invest in them, your roster is not stronger. You just happen to have a cheat, like you cheated. Like, if I, on my main account, if I took every 6 red star I had and brought them to gear tier 14, I'd be 8 million TCP right now. No joke. Like, I'd be from 7.5 to 8 million TCP. Seriously. I definitely have at least 500,000 points in bad characters. I have multiples of a lot of them. The problem is, I wouldn't be an 8 million power roster. As of right now, at 7.5, I'm performing at about 9 million power. I'm doing the same actual tasks that someone at 9 million can do. Capable of winning the correct amount of war fights. I'm capable of doing what I can, like, as best as I can, and not only... First of all, I can coast to coast any Greek raid ever. Doesn't matter. I could do multiple... No, I could do more than 10 nodes, like, if I needed to. Like, it doesn't matter. And then as far as U7, the last I was able to do is, without spending a single heal, ever, with 2 different teams, 100% my lane in U7.4. Huh? No, we're just talking about random stuff. So, like... And more people can do it than not. Not a single raid heal. I cannot stress that enough. Not a single raid heal. 2 teams. U7.4. U7.4 was the last time I was able to do that. Coast to coast. That's incorrect. Couldn't beat the Ultimus node on my own. Needed someone else to assist me. And it was Doc Maverick. I needed Doc Maverick to come in. Right now, I'm doing U7.1. Like, I don't care anymore. U7, like, right now, my main, I don't care anymore. The rewards don't matter. To me. I have 2,000 tier 4 ability materials. Like, none of it matters to me. So I just, like, I'm relaxing. I'm testing stuff. I'm seeing what's going on. But I'm probably going to move on my main account to a different alliance when I start feeling like I want to play more, like, actively again. Attack teams are more important than defense teams. 100%, yeah. Until you reach the point when everyone has enough attack teams, then you need defense teams. Oh, it's for my main account. Yeah. No, this account, I actually won't go into U7. I refuse to. There's no reason to. Why? Doing U7 will not make me a better player. It will not improve the quality of my roster. None of it will. I need to bring up more teams. I need to bring up more characters. That's going to make me a better player. Not being able to do U7. That doesn't make you a good player. Being able to auto U7 makes you a good player. Or good enough that you got far enough, which is relevant. Yeah. Plenty of weight. I always lose weight on keto, but I'm not trying to lose a lot. I only have to lose like 25 pounds. I don't go to keto to lose weight. I go to keto because it makes me feel better about myself for a while. What's your top margin level to bring to your levels? I bring every character up to level 60 that I'm going to use. Level 60, gear tier 10, and then I just move on to the next one. Yeah. And guess what? I'm going to get a shit ton more war credits in that alliance, because that alliance also probably, if they're doing U7... Weird thing I've noticed, a lot of alliances start doing U7 and they all of a sudden start thinking like, oh, now it's time to start spending money on war attacks. Like, they think that's the end game, and they're fucking wrong. That's just not the end game. Then you don't need U7 for sure. You don't need U7. You don't need U7 until you have characters at gear tier 14 that need to be stronger. That's it. And even then, not even much. I've said this many times. You should start doing U7 the week after you've U6.5'd every single day. If you U6.5 every single day for a week, U6.5. Then jump into U7. Jump in. That's the new rule. If you can't use 6.5 7 days in a row, you have no business being in U7. Is it easier? Somewhat. Are the rewards better? Absolutely not. Because you don't need those rewards. You need to have better characters. And if people are spending money, if people are spending raid heals to do their part, guess what? Your alliance isn't ready for U7. Because if you're spending raid heals to do U6.5, they're going to spend raid heals to do U7, and then they're going to fall behind. You want to be in I need to balance my tunes for war, but I don't want to be in U7. I want to be in U6. Yeah, pretty much. Because you have to balance your tunes for war. Because you have to bring up war teams. Because war is giving you the most of everything you need. Because war, surprise, surprise, the war store. Oh, look, it's Sif. Sure, I'll buy some Sif. Not buy a Nebula, though. War gives you the best credits that could be used for the most things. I don't spend war credits. Do you know why I don't spend war credits? Because every now and then, I like to think, what are war credits good for? Gear. Not characters. Not at all characters. Gear. This is the absolute best value you get per core. The reason it sucks is the economy of these is so bad that people are going to be like, but Tony, I need to buy Nobu because of Phoenix and stuff. Be like, okay, but at the cost of spending $13.75 for 5 Nobu shards, you're not getting 20 abilities that you need. Yeah, rushing to progress content is the side of poor leadership. Take your feet, walk out. That's it. And if you're a leader or leadership of your alliance, and people are demanding something, kick them. Don't care if they're the #1 damage dealer. Don't care. That kind of attitude can't be involved in an alliance that actually wants to succeed. And if you don't think that's true, there are people who, like, get kicked from top alliances. The top alliances because they have shit attitudes. Now, I'm not going to name any names, but there's a couple. Went back to U5 after a wasted day of flailing about in U6. Yeah. Talk to your alliance. You'll find out real quick. I just joined this alliance. I don't really have... Wait, is Grizz in our... Grizz, you're in my alliance? Oh my god, that's amazing. Grizz just jumped into my alliance. Hold on, I have to see what that means. The reward at U6.5 at 60% is better than U7.2. Yeah, pretty much so. Here I am. Yeah, before you say we're being carried, this is the bottom. This is the top. Our average TCP is like 3 million. And I'm still doing all the stuff. The reward in U6.5. Yeah. No, like, again, you just have to remember the difference. What do you need? You don't need the best final thing so you can have the best thing. So you can be the best version of the shittiest version of the guy who did something you want to do 6 months ago. Well, you don't need that. You need to build your roster. You need to have multiple different characters. Do you want to know why I can come out and say 15 best characters, even though I made it 16, and the first thing I said in that entire video was there's actually 16 here. I know, trust me, it's hilarious. And that's, like, the reason I said 15 best characters is because I got to use all of these characters in U7.1, in U7.2, in U7.3, and they all worked. And I was like, cool. But everyone wants to know, what's that one team? What's that one idea? What can I spend all my resources in and then not have to think about this game anymore? And the answer to your question is Black Order. If you want to spend all of your resources in one team, then don't stop there. Spend all your resources healing that team. Just use Phoenix on every node and Refresher. Who cares that it costs cores? You don't need to worry about that because you're thinking like a whale. You're thinking, how do I make one thing better than anything else? Which is whale thinking. So if you're not spending like a whale, you shouldn't think like a whale. What's up? Crying, it's been a while. How you been? Anyway, I think that's it for the stream. So the core concept of the stream, just to run down the line, is resources and time. You cannot get either of them. Every dollar you spend in this game gives you time and resources. It's both. No questions asked. So for me, at this point in the game, the fact that I'm not spending money is now holding me back more than any other thing. Why? Well, my character's Gear Tier 11 missing 2 pieces. Or Gear Tier 12 missing 2 pieces. Gear Tier 12 missing some pieces. She's Gear Tier 11, missing this to be 12, and then I'll have some pieces ready for her. Hella ready is close. Like, I'm not missing out on much. I'll have enough to do what I need to do when it goes in. No problem there. My goal was a 9-month Ultron, and I'm very much on pace for a 9-month Ultron. So that's it. My teams are going to be built. I picked the characters I want to use. I picked all of the value I needed. And now the only thing holding me back is the fact that I am about halfway to 69. And then I have all of 69. The only way I can accelerate faster is by spending resources or spending money. I could spend cores to get more energy at an incredibly inefficient rate. I mean, now though. No, I'm already getting Shuri. I don't have any mini goals. The only goal I have right now is get to level 70. They're done. This is done. This is Shuri. She's done. Shuri and IW are locked. This is nothing. If someone comes to me and says, hey, I'm missing 10 shards on 3 characters, do I have enough time? I'd be like, you have not only enough time, I wouldn't even do it. Like, this is 40 shards on Green Goblin with a double drop coming. Nothing. This is done. Mystique is the last character I need to finish. Mystique and Toad, I think, actually. Where's Toad? Loki. Loki. Notice I'm not farming Loki. Well, that's because I missed Black Bolt the first pass, so I don't care. Sif, I think I'm trying to pick up some extra shards, but she's also relatively close. Heimdall I just unlocked. So for me right now, the only thing I'm actually paying attention to... Here, I'll take you through everything real quick before I end it. War store, I'm sorry, regular store, I buy random stuff I need, like a stockpile. I don't need Palladium, actually. Blitz store, I buy Toad. I buy Toad. That's it. I want him to 30. That's it. No other character is necessary. Every other character I have is 4 or useless. So I don't care. I'll start opening Blitz orbs after Toad gets to 5, just because Blitz orbs in general are better. And then I might start picking up some war energy stuffs as time goes on. This is put here to trap you. If you are playing and you are being told by your alliance that you need to buy these, but you don't have all of these characters at least pretty unlocked and useful, just don't do it. You're not buying war attacks with energy when there's characters in the store you need. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't necessarily need to 7-star some of the Hydra guys. You don't need to do that. But, like, these characters need to get stronger for you to be better in war. I'd rather you have a stronger team and not be able to buy an attack than anything else. So, that's it. Let's check out... Were you target buying Mysterio? Yeah. But I've been done with Mysterio for a long time. Like... I missed the legendaries. I missed the legendaries because of Shocker and Green Goblin. Everyone else was done. In the raid store, give me something. I'm not really focusing anybody because there's nobody in the raid store that I need. But if I see a character like Ronin or Rocket, you know, I'll just buy them. In general, like, none of these guys are necessarily worth it. So I'm not really panicking. Mostly my raid store is now going to buy this stuff. Ronin, yeah. Ronin for Phoenix. My Phoenix is gonna be Hela, Ronin, Mordo, Loki, and probably Nobu. But that's it. Like, I'm basically spending all my raid credits on, like, actual resources now. No idea. I don't pay attention. I don't know. If you're using the Supernatural team, you could probably do it at, like, 120. Maybe a little less. Yeah, none of this matters. Supply store? I'm buying up Heimdall right now because he's the only... I'm sorry, War store. No, Arena store. I'm buying up Heimdall because none of these other characters matter. I'm splashing Mordo, but that's it. Like, no. I might buy Researcher, but I've already gotten 22 not doing anything, so I'm not rushing her. Drax is 6-star. Quake doesn't matter. Scarlet Witch doesn't matter. Deadpool doesn't matter. Juggernaut's done. Well, 5-star. M'Baku, I don't care about. Vulture, I don't care about. Human Torch can go fuck himself. Crystal, I might buy Crystal eventually. Blob, Well, I don't know what world we're living in where Blob is this amazing character. He's, at best, okay. Blob is the okayest character in the game. You miss a Switch? Yeah, I miss a Switch too. Arena store, I'm buying up Sif until she's 130. But in I'm sorry, War store. In general, no, I'm just buying resources. Like, hey, look. Advanced Sigils. Yeah, I'll buy this. Why do I have 48,000? Because the first 3 months of the game, I spent 0 of these credits. Do you know why I spent 0 of these credits? Because I wasn't an idiot starting with characters that you need in that store. I got to sandbag all of these credits. I have mags already. I have Toad, Mystique, Juggernaut, Wolverine, and Psylocke. It was either Psylocke or Storm. I forgot who I had more on, but like they're fun. Why? Like, don't need him. And so it was an alliance that couldn't really do war. Wish I would have left earlier. Raid store, nothing ever. None of it. 0. Nothing. Nothing. Red Star promotion credits. Those are exclusively used for legendaries I have. If the legendary event goes live, I stream it on Twitch, yes. Elite 4-star. You know what? I'll open this Elite 4-star for you guys. We're hoping we don't pull Karnak or Crystal, right? That's it. I also have a 4-star Black Bolt, so this would just be a useless thing. So we're going to open this Elite 4. Let's see what happens. We're going to call this after this. Lessons learned are done. We know what we're doing. Next week is still just plugging along, trying to max out characters and waiting to be level 70. Shuri's 10 days away at least. No worries there. Let's see what I get in this orb. John Ayers, you have to focus them right now. You still have time. You have at least, you have over a month before Star-Lord gets back. Yondu and Groot, you're doing the same situation I am, John. Yondu, Groot, and Ravager Bruiser are so far behind. So, if you can do Gamora over Ravager Bruiser, because Ravager Bruiser is only a 2-star character right now. No, she's a 3-star, 55 of 80. So, if you can do Gamora, if she's more reasonable, do her. But other than that, using Psylocke with symbiotes? What? What? Using Psylocke with symbiotes? I've used Psylocke with the symbiotes, but in general, no. Who are you doing for Dark Dimension 2? You should probably watch any of these videos if you want that information, because I say it all the time. Anyway, thanks guys so much for watching. I'm going to Twitch. We're doing the PC building stream that was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, when you guys helped me out with that. I'm doing another Raid Shadow Legends sponsored stream soon, so like you guys can jump in on that and help me get more free stuff, like this cool-ass stream deck I just got. Look how cool it is. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Have a good night. Have a great day. Feel free to comment. Follow me here. I'm going to probably take a quick break to eat the sausage and take it easy. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next week is going to be the same thing, except slightly different. Maybe something new or exciting comes out. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Anyway, not to be a jerk, Bill Davis, Star-Lord, Minerva, Sybiote Spider-Man, Hela, and either Carnage or Invisible Woman, depending on if I get Invisible Woman by the time she comes out. That's pretty much it. So, be good, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I get to push a button on this box now to stop